talk about not feeling safe in your hometown. Well, I am from Rotherham, and we were shocked and disgusted by everything that happened. And it was hard enough living in a town that had to deal with that. But then the following weekend, the EDL and other members of the far right came to our town.
Where are you from, sorry?
I'm from Rotherham.
Rotherham, okay, yeah.
And members of the groups from the far right, like the EDL, the BNP, came to our town. And we had to lock ourselves away in our houses, people who were Pakistani or Muslim, because they didn't feel safe in their town. 2 streets away from my house, the EDL, members of the EDL and these groups were smashing shop windows and cars. My dad was assaulted because he was a Muslim taxi driver by men who identified themselves as members of these groups. And my question to you is that you talk about Muslim extremism, as you should, because it is a problem. I'm not denying that it is, but you don't mention attacks from members of the far right that attack other people, or members from the far right that go around thinking it's acceptable to physically harm others. You focus on Muslims, you place the onus on Muslims to speak out, which Muslims do speak out, and I think that they should, but you don't focus on these groups that do this. You don't talk about how these groups aren't representative of the EDL or other groups as a whole. I know that you've left the EDL now, but when you were a member you didn't, and I just feel like there are tensions on both sides, and both sides should be held accountable, but
there are, but I think to compare groups on the far right with Islamist terrorism who wish to kill, murder, maim, and they are killing, they are murdering. There's no groups of EDL or groups of the far right picking up young Muslim girls and raping them. It's not happening, okay? I know it's disgusting and sick if your dad's been attacked. You're from Rotherham. The grooming case from Rotherham. A local councillor, Muslim, went to court and gave a character reference for the groomers. He gave a character reference. The ex-mayor, who's a Muslim, went to court and gave a character reference. After that court case, once those men were convicted for rape, disgusting, sickening crimes against kids, there was no outcry. I'm not trying to justify any of it. I remember looking at it and thinking, hold on, a councillor who's gone to court and gave a character reference for a paedophile who's raped a kid, and he ain't lost his job. And yet, when you say I don't speak out, I actually hate the far right, the real far right, as we've seen. Who the far right I see as the far right. And I think it's right to bracket every people who are critical of Islam as an ideology. It is right to condemn what you're saying is acts of violence against innocent Muslims. But the reason why I don't speak out as much about them is because they're not blowing things up, they're not murdering. I haven't really seen many incidents or any evidence of the crimes like in comparison to what we're seeing. I don't think that, you see, the far right is going to grow. As we grow on in the coming years, it is going to grow. You will eventually see an attack from the far right on innocent Muslims, whether it be a mosque. But it's like 95%, 5%. The biggest threat to world peace is ISIS, Islamist ideology. So that's why, as you said, I don't speak about it as much. I do think it's something that, again, government may not really address until something really terrible happens. But I'm sorry that you experience those things, but I don't speak about them on an equal level because I don't think they are equal.
As a follow-up to that, you said you don't hear about non-Muslims committing the same sort of crime and the same sort of scale. What would you say to someone who sees that obviously there have been a lot of evidence and reports against British troops and American troops from the West in Pakistan, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, etc., raping the women there. I know for a fact, I'm from Pakistan. Lots of incidences of chopping up the genitals of Pakistani soldiers in the north. Same sort of airtime on Western television, but all of these things are happening and feed into people's resentment against the West, or sort of not. How would you respond to that? Do you think that that is not something that also needs to be addressed?
Yeah, but don't really know what answer I can give you to that. If people are murdering innocent people and torturing them, then it's sick, it's disgusting, they should be brought to justice. But I don't get what you're getting at with your question, in the sense of, I don't take it out. Say, for example, look, Christian, when I see Muslims say they feel upset and hurt because this is happening to their Muslim brothers worldwide, yeah? Well, it's happening to our Christian brothers worldwide in every single country where they're a minority. You've got Boko Haram taking slave girls, you've got all these different things going on worldwide, and I don't hate Muslims in it. People don't take it out on Muslims in this country, do you know what I mean? So it's happening. I don't really know how I can best answer that question. I don't agree with it, I don't support it for 1 minute. If anyone's doing that, it should be brought to justice. I don't really know where I can go with that, so.